Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another edition of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and we've got a show for you today.
Yes, we do.
We always do.
Yeah.
Well, on today's show, we're answering the internet's greatest debate right now.
It is definitely a big debate right now.
It's the greatest debate, and who better to chime in on this debate than me and you? But
yes.
Before we jump into this, if you haven't subscribed yet, please mash the subscribe button. We would love it if you became a subscriber. I think like 60% of you that listen weekly are subscribers. 40% haven't subscribed yet. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're getting some value out of the show, we would love it so much if you gave us a positive review. We love those positive vibes, and we can't thank you enough for all the love, and we love you guys back. Got the best listeners, best travel fans in the world.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, no, we do. Absolutely.
And shout out to Justin in Dallas, who just hit us up from the podcast and booked a trip to Cabo.
That's right.
But we're not here to talk about Cabo.
No.
But still, shout out Justin. We love you. So if anyone's on social media nowadays, or like really like this has spawned from a YouTube video of a lady reclining her seat.
Yes.
And the guy behind her is like punching the back of the seat because he thought constantly. Yes. Because he thought it was disrespectful that that the lady didn't ask, I guess. And he was pissed off.
Yeah, he was not happy, and I think he was in the last row on the plane, so he could not recline his seat. But yeah, he was punching her seat. It was on an American Airlines flight. Yeah.
So, and then that video went viral and kind of spawned this great debate on the internet. Is if you recline your seat, two things: like when is it appropriate, and then do you ask? Do you have to ask for permission? The person behind you.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking at dinner last night, and I think we're kind of split on this one. So we're going to debate this out on whether or not it's appropriate, or when is it appropriate to recline your seat, and should you have to ask permission?
Okay.
Because the internet's split on this. You and I are split on this.
Yeah.
So I wish we had a third party here to be like judge and jury for us. But we don't have that, so we're just going to have to come to a resolution. We're mitigators.
I don't think we'll come to a resolution, but that's okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
See, I fly a lot more than you do.
Yeah.
But you're the travel expert, so this is very interesting on your take on it.
Okay, so what's your take?
I don't know. I think I'll let you go first. Let's talk about the video first. Let's talk about the video. Was the guy out of line?
Absolutely.
I think so too. We agree on that one.
Yes, he definitely was.
Like, you don't physically push someone's seat. It was a little childish.
It was very childish.
We're adults here. Now, if that's like a 10-year-old kid and they're mad, then that's fine. But like, have a conversation,
yes.
with the lady. The lady, I mean, I felt bad for her.
Or have a conversation with the flight attendants and try to see if they can move you somewhere else or move her. But yeah, you don't sit there and physically push someone.
No, yeah, I did not like that at all. And I know he's in the last row, and I get it. But you know what? The last row, the cost of that flight to be in the last row is typically the same if you're in row 20 or 15. You just either didn't select your seat quick enough, or you could be in basic economy where you booked the cheapest ticket possible, and then you got stuck in the back row. Yeah. But my point is, if you hate it that much, spend the extra $20 and don't, like, if you're that physically angry about it, don't sit in the back row. Because if someone,
or he may have had no choice though.
That's true.
Because like maybe his flight got canceled and he got put on that flight, and that was the only open seat. You know, there's a lot of unknowns.
There's a lot of variables, and I know travel can be frustrating. I've had my fair share of canceled and delayed flights, especially lately with the weather.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought, regardless if the woman had asked him or not, out of line.
Yes.
He's out of bounds here on this one.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So then what do you think as far as reclining your seat?
So I might have an unpopular opinion on this. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
So I think that, well, to your point, there's a lot of variables on what kind of flight you're on.
Yeah.
So I have a list here of about 4 different flights I want to present to you, and I want you to answer me whether you would ask or not to recline your seat.
Okay.
I'll go first. Like, overall, I don't think you should have to ask. I don't think you should. Now, there's situations where you probably could ask, and it's courteous, and there's situations where you probably shouldn't ask. So, for example, a 5 a.m. flight that's about 3 hours long. A lot of people that are on these longer 5 a.m. flights or 6 a.m. flights early in the morning, they're sleeping.
Right.
The lights are still dim in the cabin. People shut their window shades, and people are sleeping. So people will lean back, and it's not a big deal. If you have like a business person behind you, and you can kind of tell they might have their laptop out during the flight, and you're in coach, well then maybe ask or something if you want to.
I was gonna say I think that you should not just immediately go all the way back, because I've had people do that, and I've had my tablet up and it hits my tablet or almost spills my drink. Like if I sitting there and I have a bottle of water or something like that, then it pushes it. You're
right. And but then again, you can then lean back too, so it creates the domino effect. Like you could then recline back too. But see, you're tiny, you're small, you're tiny. So
yes, but you are ignoring my point. Is when somebody just reclines back super fast, and if you have something on your tray table, it literally can knock it off.
Well, you shouldn't just recline like fast, like that's silly.
Yeah, I don't think you should go
unless
from 0 to all the way back. But a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and okay, so I agree with you there. Don't slam it back.
Yes, it needs to be like a slow progression.
Yeah, but never, ever, ever would I ever touch the person's seat and like in an aggressive way try to push the seat.
You
back
had
up.
that happen.
That happened to me because I leaned back. Now that one
No, that guy was being a douche.
The guy was being. I won't bleep that word out. I think we'll let that fly.
Yeah,
but he was being an a-hole.
Yes,
he's definitely being an a-hole. I was in first class, and the flight hadn't taken off yet. And people I've seen this do before. Now, you're probably not supposed to, because you're supposed to speed up the boarding process. But I leaned my seat back prior to the cabin door being shut, so people started boarding. And I was like, well, people are still boarding. I'm just going to lean my seat back. It's first class. There's plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
The guy got PO'd, and I'm like...
And he started pushing on his seat.
I couldn't even believe it. Like, it took me a while to realize what was going on. I was like, is he really doing that? And then you were like, hey, quit pushing on the seat. And I was like...
Yeah, so I got snippety with him.
Yeah. But that was stupid because, I mean, the plane hasn't even left yet. And first class, there's so much room. Like, it doesn't matter, but he's just being a prick.
Well, yeah, and then you didn't recline your seat back the rest of the flight.
Did I not?
No, you wouldn't.
Really? No.
I would have reclined that all the way back.
I definitely did. I don't know
Well,
if that's true or not.
No, I don't think you did.
I really can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, that was back when we were coming back from Grenada in September. So
anyways, never would I ever, though, physically touch someone's seat. Because, I always view it as if I'm in coach and someone does that to me, that's their choice. It's their seat. And the seat reclines, and it's their choice.
Personally, yeah, I do not like to fully recline my seat because there's not that much room. And so I personally don't do that, and I appreciate it when other people don't, because I know I'm small, but I have been on flights before where they recline it all the way back and they're basically in my lap. And I don't like that.
Yeah, but you got to think about it from the recliner's standpoint. See, you're small, so you don't have to recline your seat back that much to get a lot of comfort. Someone like me, who's 5'11", even in coach, my knees are almost buttoned up against the seat in front of me. I like to lean back a little bit for comfort, and that is my right as a person on a plane. That's your seat. It's what the seat. It's a seat functionality. It's the right. Now, on a flight where like there's a business person behind me, or I can tell someone needs to use the tray table, maybe will I ask? Yeah, I might ask. I'm not saying I never will. Mm-hmm. But also, if there's someone behind me sleeping or something, I'm just going to lean back. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, if they're sleeping, I guess it's fine.
And if you're that bothered by it, like literally, if you hate it that much, then if it angers you to the point where you're gonna be, it's gonna ruin your flight or something, like the one guy, then try to avoid the back row, or try to get the front row of economy where there's no one in front of you.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is my favorite seat outside of first class.
Yeah. That
front row, you always have more leg room. You get the flight attendant's attention really easy if you need her or him, and it's easy to get in and out of the row if you have to use the bathroom or something mid-flight. So that's an underrated ticket, that front row. Some people don't like it. You used to not like it.
Yeah, because you have the bulkhead in front of you, and so then you can't put your purse down.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's the most annoying part of it is you can't put your carry-on, like even a small book bag or anything, under the seat in front of you because
there is no seat in front of you.
You typically have the wall, unless you have one of the planes with first class where it's just a curtain all the way across.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
then you can
there's
reach
those.
it. Yeah. But either way, those are the best seats to have. So let me present a couple scenarios to you.
Okay.
And I want to hear your opinion on to recline or not to recline. And I guess, would you ask, too? You have a 4.5 hour flight, cross country. So think Charlotte to Vegas.
Yep.
Overnight. Do you ask? Stark on the plane?
Well, if it's... I mean, I personally would still only recline it just a little bit. I don't know that I would do it all the way back.
Really?
Yeah. But
Why?
I can see where people would.
Okay. Are they in the wrong?
I don't know. No, maybe not.
See, there's a big gray area here.
Yeah, it's a big,
it's a big gray area. Okay. So we're going to say okay to recline then on this one.
Yeah, okay to recline.
Okay. Ding. I need to get like little sound effects going.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Overnight flight to Europe, 12 hours, which we've done.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
to
that.
recline or not to recline?
Yeah, that I think it's expected to recline.
And do you ask if you're in coach?
I mean, I just say that you should do it slowly. Don't just go automatically back right away.
Okay. All right, here we go. Lunchtime flight, so say a 12 p.m. flight, 2 hours.
No, I think you're fine without it, without reclining.
Do you ask if you want to?
I think that's courteous.
I've never heard you ask.
Or at least go back slowly and not just slam it back. I don't like the slam back people.
Seat slammers, we'll call
them?
Yeah,
seat slammers. I don't like seat slammers.
Seat slammers are a-holes.
Yes, they are.
They are. And I've never, knock on wood, I fly so much. I do get upgraded a lot, but man, I was in coach the other day. My last flight, that was awful.
Oh my God, first world problems.
I am spoiled.
Well, and part of this, all the planes are made, everything, a lot of the seats are crammed together. So, but if you fly like Delta a lot, then you can get Delta Comfort and it's only a little bit more as opposed to first class, and then you give yourself more room, so then reclining wouldn't be that bad.
So I'm glad you said that, because that was going to be my note before your travel tip is if legroom is important to you, that medium, I guess you can call it like upgraded economy where you're not in first class but you're still upgraded, is so worth it.
Yes.
Because you chances are, so Delta Comfort, you get free drinks and you get a dedicated flight attendant and you get a lot more legroom. You just don't have as big and wide as a seat, but you have more length to stretch your legs out.
Yes.
And that's really what's most important to most people. And then typically, too, in the upgraded economy section, you don't get like the food and beverage that you would get in first class. So you get the free drinks and cocktails, but you don't get like a meal or something. You might get upgraded snacks.
Right. Yeah.
So on Delta, that's called Delta Comfort, and on American, it's called Main Cabin Extra.
Yeah.
And
so not all of American's Main Cabin Extra seats though have extra legroom.
Are you sure about that?
On some planes, yeah. They'll be in the orange, and it'll say Main Cabin Extra.
It says 6 inches more of legroom.
Some of them, they don't.
Really?
I mean, looking at the plane, it definitely doesn't look like that there's any more legroom there.
I think I double check that.
Okay.
We'll double check and put in the show notes, because every time I've booked it, I have noticed there's a lot more legroom, and it is about 6 inches more. It's not a tremendous amount, but every little bit makes a difference there when you're.
I mean, I'd say get the first row. So.
The first row's key. The first row is awesome. And it's the same amount. If you're going to upgrade, that first row is the same amount. So, know before you go travel tip, spend the extra, what is it? 30,
well, it really depends on the flight, but it's usually anywhere from $20-$30 up to $100-$200. So.
Okay.
Depending on how long, because like I've seen them, going to Europe where it's a couple $100 more.
So let me ask you this: what do you do? Speaking of seat slammer Sammy, if you have seat slammer Sammy in front of you and Sammy just slams that seat back, how do you react? What do you do? I
get really angry and say nothing. Yeah.
That's about what I do too.
And just let it sit there and boil over all flight long.
So yeah, you let stuff stew, and you just I can tell when you're pissed off. You're just like you're short, and you're like, but you know what? I agree. You don't say I don't say anything either.
No, but if someone was pushing on my seat, then that's when I say something. Just like when that guy did that to you. So.
Guy was way out of line touching. You don't touch or try to push up. I mean, what environment did you grow up in to do that? Like, as an adult, like you're a grown. Like I was like 60 years old.
Oh yeah, he was a grown man.
What are you doing? You were acting like a kid.
Yeah,
that's what frustrated me the most out of the whole thing. Like people were like going back, and the internet was debating like who was in the right and who's in the wrong. And you're like, doesn't matter what happened. That guy is definitely in the wrong. Like,
yeah, and I do think the woman was being a little.
Wasn't she trying to sue for like head trauma?
Or she was,
something?
that's threatening.
Ridiculous.
I mean, that's a bit ridiculous. I think, in my opinion, just from looking at it, I don't think she was physically like that hurt.
She was almost like basking in it that the guy was pissed off. Like, she was enjoying the fact that he was pissed.
Yeah. So I don't know. But, yeah. All right. Don't you have a fourth scenario?
Oh, yeah. No. Normal flight. So normal flight. Yeah, we went over that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said you had 4.
That's 4. So we did the overnight cross country.
Yeah.
Overnight cross country 4.5 hours. Overnight Europe 12 hours. Early AM.
Oh
flight.
Yeah, early AM. I forgot we did that one.
Early AM flight. Yeah. Which I think. I mean, I've never really, and I've like again, people that listen to the show know that I fly like 140 times a year, for 140 different flights a year. I rarely ever hear anyone ask. I don't think I've ever been asked ever.
Yeah, I
never hear people ask.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been asked either. And then what would you say if somebody asked no?
No, that's the thing. I thought about that too. It's like, do you actually say no?
Yeah.
And like, if you say yes, you're still gonna be pissed off that they did it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I just think that if you are going to do it, just be mindful of the person behind you, and if they have their tray table out, that you're.
It's hard to tell though sometimes.
Yeah, I know, but basically, just don't be a seat slammer.
Don't be seat slamming Sammy.
Yeah,
and just slowly recline back. And you sometimes I can tell if they're behind me sleeping. Like if you get up and use the bathroom, and you see they're dozed off or something, then that's fine. Don't slam it back. But if they have their tray table out and they're working or something, I guess you can be mindful, but it's your seat. It's your airline ticket. The seat does that. That's a feature of the seat.
Right. I mean, I usually just only recline a tad bit.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it either. Like, I get frustrated by it when people do it, but I'm like, I get it. Like, we're all crammed in here like sardines together. We're all packed in here like canned sardines.
Yes.
We're all in this together.
Now, I will say...
So let's just all get along.
Yes. Now, I will say, be mindful of how much room you have on some of the discount airlines, because it's even less than what you'll find on like Delta, American, United, JetBlue, those. But like Spirit Airlines, Frontier, Allegiant, their seat, our leg room in their seats is even smaller than normal.
Yeah, we're not huge fans here at Penyak Travel of the discounted airlines, purely because, and I'll let you speak to this more than me, is when a Spirit flight or a Frontier flight gets canceled or delayed or changed, it's very hard for them to recover like an American or a Delta United, because they simply just don't have a high number of flights that they can put you on.
Well, and you just get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for, yeah, and that kind of summarizes travel as a whole. You
always get what you pay for. So if you pay for something cheap, it's cheap for a reason.
Yeah, and I swear the internet, some of these properties, that like the marketing's getting so good where it's like advertising all inclusive or advertising XYZ, and you look at the rate and you're just like, no way.
Oh yeah, or advertising that it's 5-star. Yeah. Yeah,
like that's a term that is slung around a lot. We have a 5-star property, 5-star resort.
Yes.
Every resort in the Caribbean probably swears by the other 5 stars.
Well, and I actually, just speaking on like false advertisement or whatever recently, but a very confusing situation. So I have a destination wedding booked in Aruba, and there are several different like resorts all lumped together. And one of them, it says, is, all inclusive. And really, though, only if you're booked into like the villa section there, you can add on the all-inclusive.
So it's optional if you're in a certain room
but
category.
the way it's presented is very confusing. So even online, it says all-inclusive. But if you just book the base rate, that's not the all-inclusive rate. So it was even confusing to me. I had to call them.
That is not good.
So I can only imagine like people that show up there thinking that they have booked the all-inclusive, and it's not.
What a gimmick.
Yeah.
Can you imagine working the front desk there? The amount of heat they get?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Marketing department's like, I don't care. Run it. Run the ad. It's all-inclusive.
Yeah. But it's weird because then, it says that it's all-inclusive, but when you go to book the room and it just says breakfast included. So, but then there's a separate option for the all-inclusive. So it's very confusing.
So misleading.
Yes, very misleading.
We keep resorts like that. We call it on the do not book list because you just can't. It's just silly. And if they're doing stuff like that, what other corners are they probably cutting as far as cleaning or quality of food?
Right.
You really don't want to know. And I don't want to know, but I'm sure if you're cutting advertising corners like that or stretching the truth that much, I'll pass.
Yeah, I agree.
Not gonna spend my free time there.
I agree.
All right, so you ready for question of the day?
Sure.
Travel question of the day. And we've had a lot of this because been around the block a few times. Best street food.
Best street food.
So when traveling, like we've had, think about all the street food we've had. Pâtés in Jamaica. We've had pizza in Rome. Did we try the French fries in
Amsterdam?
Because that was a big street food.
Mm-hmm.
All this, and usually when we travel, we do grab. It doesn't, I guess let's call it maybe not street food, but we'll call it local food, which you don't branch out much.
I was going to say, I'm like the wrong person to ask that to.
Too bad it's question of the day, so deal with it.
Yeah, because I'm a creature of habit, and I'm a very picky eater. I love pizza, so I guess I would say pizza in Italy.
Pizza in Rome? We did have the slice of pizza.
That was in Paris.
No, I thought we had one in Rome, too.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
We did have one in Paris, though, too.
Yeah.
Rome was better. The pizza in, where was it? Right by the Notre Dame.
Right, yeah, that was in
awesome
Paris.
Pizza, yeah.
That
awesome
was very
pizza.
good.
So that's your best one?
I would think so, but also, the Jamaican patties are really good, too. They have beef patties, chicken patties, veggie patties. Those are good.
Those are good. The quality varies where you're at. Like, the ones at the airport aren't that good, but if you go to, like, some of the resorts will have them out as just, like, all, like, out by the pool or something. Those are better.
Yeah, I agree.
The ones we had at some of the airports, I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Too bready for me, but I do like them.
Yeah.
It's good if you're drinking a lot.
Helps soak up some of the alcohol.
All right, so let me think about this. So my favorite street food. I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna throw something a little different at you here.
Okay.
My favorite street food that we've had traveling would definitely be the croissants in Europe.
Oh yeah, those are always very good
with the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the brand. It's kind of like our Starbucks over there, Uvi maybe. The red.
Oh, I do not remember.
All those coffee shops that were everywhere. Yeah. They were on like every street corner, and they had really delicious warm croissants.
Yes.
And you could get it with like a espresso or a coffee or Americano. And I would get that, and I ate a ton of them, probably like a couple a day.
Yeah.
And they were so good.
Yeah, no, those are very
And they're
good.
just plain, but they have like a subtle like sweetness to them. And they're real fluffy. They're not like overly bready because they're like hollow.
Or I like them with the chocolate on the inside.
Yeah, you did. You liked them with the chocolate or drizzled on top.
Yeah.
So that would be probably my favorite that I've had. But the pizza in Rome was good.
Yeah.
We had a lot of street food in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
We had other stuff too that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the bar food we had in, oh my gosh, where was it? Amsterdam. We sat at that bar.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that.
That was really good. I had fish and chips. That was pretty good.
And I had pizza.
You eat pizza everywhere.
Yeah, whatever. I like it.
You eat pizza everywhere.
It's good, so.
All right, give us your trip of the week before we wrap up here.
Trip of the week. Well, I mean, I guess the Cabo. Planning the Cabo is
shout
good.
out our boy Justin in Dallas coming through with Cabo. We've had a lot of requests. We might do like a shout out, a client shout out of every trip, every podcast now.
And then another one I would say is Disney trip I'm planning for our nieces, my brother and his wife. Yes, and that was so much fun. They're kind of planning it a little last minute, but being able to go in and find availability at different restaurants so they could eat with the princesses and eat with Mickey and Minnie and Donald Duck, and that's been fun. I really enjoy it. It's really fun, like when it's your own nieces.
They're going to be princesses at Disney.
Yes, they will be.
They're literally going to be princesses. What is that? So I think we have a lot of moms and dads that listen. What is that experience like? So explain that a little bit more on what like our nieces are going to go. They're like 5 and 2. And explain what they're going to experience.
Well, yeah, so they're going to go to Magic Kingdom and
this is an add-on, right? This is an additional.
No.
Oh,
I mean, it's just you can. It's the restaurant. They go to several different restaurants. So like they got Chef Mickey's, and so it's character dining. So Mickey and Minnie Mouse will be there, and then they've also got that at Animal Kingdom, and then they are going to dine with the princesses at Epcot, and
Oh my gosh! But don't they become? Isn't there something where they can become the princess?
Yes,
right?
they can do the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but you have to be 3 or older, to 3 to 12 to experience the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. But you can get made into a princess, and then there's several different packages that you can do on up to the top. But this time they're not doing it because both of them are not old enough to do it. Only one is, yeah. So they don't want to make the 2-year-old feel bad. So they're not going to do that this time.
But can you imagine like being a kid and like that kid? That's got to be one of the greatest experiences because a little girl's going to watch all the Disney movies and see the princess on there. Then she goes to Disney World.
Right. And gets made into a princess.
And she's with the other princesses, right? And they do the hair and everything. And she actually gets a little crown.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like an incredible experience for a kid.
And there's also another experience that a lot of people I find don't know. But for boys, they can get made into a pirate.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can you walk the plank? They have a plank you can walk?
Oh, that I have no idea.
I walked the plank on a couple different trips, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Remember the trip? I think it's like maybe in the Bahamas or it's kind of a booze cruise, but it's a pirate ship.
Oh yeah. They have a lot of those all over the Caribbean.
And they literally have a plank off of it where you can walk. You have to walk the plank and jump in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. An experience I want to do is just go on that booze cruise one day and just jump off and.
Okay.
Walk, like literally.
That's on
walk
your
the
bucket
plank.
list?
Not on the bucket list, but something I want to do.
Yeah.
It's really low. We're talking low priority here.
Okay.
But if I had a bunch of free time and that thing was going on, I'm like, I'll jump on there. I'll go walk the plank. Just say I did it.
Yeah.
I walked the plank on a pirate ship, booze cruise with a bunch of rum. And I walked the plank and got pushed off into the water.
All right. So to sum it up, you think that you should recline.
I think
and you
it's
would
okay.
not ask.
I think it's okay.
Me, I think you should not slam your seat back. Maybe just recline a little bit, unless it's an overnight flight or something like that.
Yeah, we both agree we're not seat slamming Sammy here.
Yeah,
we both agree on that. I just don't think you should really have to ask. I just think I've never ever heard anybody ask, like, "Hey, do you mind if I put my seat back?" I've never heard that.
Right.
That maybe I just fly with a bunch of rude people.
I don't think so.
But there's a big gray area there. But anyways, that's the show, guys. If you guys like the show, please like and subscribe. We love you guys so much. We will see y'all next time. We'll probably pump another episode out before the end of the week. But thank you so much. We hope you guys have a great week, and happy Monday to everybody.
Bye, everyone.